Hey, a lot of that could have gone to India. But Apple, did they get any sort of immunity? Of course not. They could be hurt by tariffs tomorrow. Seems wrong to me. Maybe that's why Apple's stock got hammered today. It ended up down $6.68 or 2.7%. When I searched for any reason, all I could come up with was one explanation: tariffs. Sure, Apple's an American company. It's going to make a lot of things here, but it gets a substantial number of its parts from Taiwan. It manufactures a huge amount of its products from cell phones in China. Because of the president's somewhat arbitrary nature, it's very hard to own Apple here now, because you do not know if the president is going to attach tariffs to Taiwan, stop more tariffs in the People's Republic of China. Is there any assurances he won't? What will that do to Apple's gross margins? Can it afford margin deterioration when the stock trades at 33 times earnings? That's why the stock went down. These are the musings of someone who actually likes the stock very much, who says own it, don't trade it, and thinks the company's sensational. I just cringe now when the president talks about this stuff. Again, not because I'm against tariffs. I'm in favor of tariffs. I like targeted tariffs. For example, it's outrageous that China exports steel to Mexico in order to evade our tariffs and then ships the steel here. Got to try to close that back door. Well, what do we do with the cars when we make in the United States? They go back and forth over Mexico border when we make them? We don't know. And that's a big reason why General Motors trades at less than 5 times earnings. Just extraordinary cheap. It's a big reason why CEO Mary Barra announced a $6 billion buyback today. The stock, which is down 9% for the year, had a quick bounce, but it gave up a big chunk of it. Tariffs. We never know when we're going to hear about tariffs next, but we do know they're coming, and we know that no stock is immune. Tariff talk is so pervasive, so overwhelming, so in your face, that we even stopped discussing what dominated our discourse for years, which was the bond market. Long-term interest rates have plummeted. The 10-year Treasury, which not that long ago seemed to be headed toward 5%, is now slouching toward 4%, finishing at 4.25% today. That's insane, especially when you remember that we keep having gigantic bond auctions. What happened to all those 5%ers anyway? Probably go to Palm Beach to avoid taxes. A couple months ago, if we got this kind of action in the bond market, stocks would have exploded higher. We'd probably be making new all-time high after all-time high after all-time high. NVIDIA would be up 25 points today. The bulls would be running free, trampling any bear in sight. But now nobody cares, because rates are coming down for the wrong reason. That's right, it's because of tariffs, because it worries that Trump's trade policy will do real damage to our economy. A huge amount of money is flowing into the 10-year, because the 10-year may be the one piece of paper in this entire country that doesn't go down when the president speaks. In fact, the president has become the bond market's best friend. I don't want to be a heretic in a market that's gaga for NVIDIA, but I think bonds represent safety in a world where the president, not inflation, has become the chief impediment to higher stock prices. Too many companies can be tariffed, and they very well might be. There's just way too much fear. Look, I've never bought into the dogma of free trade. I am not a globalist. But let's face it, Spain's a better market of 15%, France up 10%, Germany so troubled, 14.5%, China roughly flat this year, but it's made a big recovery, up 8% from its January lows. While I expect all these markets will eventually experience the wrath of President Trump, they don't suffer